Good evening. This is a special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Signal TV's 1 News, Radyo 5, and 1PH. The city of Taguig is putting up COVID testing centers where residents can just drive by to have their samples taken. Let's get the rest of the details from Marian Enriquez. She's reporting live from Taguig City. Marian.
Just may isa-set up nga mga COVID-19 testing o swabbing sites dito sa Taguig para sa mga residenteng hindi makapupunta ng mga health center pero may sasakyan naman. 2 facilities o drive-thru facilities ang itatayo rito. Isa sa BGC at isa naman sa Lakeshore Lower Bikutan. Inaasahang mauumpisahan na ito next week. Tatapusin muna ang website ngayong linggo kung saan sasagutan ng self-assessment tool o online form. Hihingi ng basic information at may mga tanong na ipinattern sa guidelines ng DOH. Tatanungin kung may sintomas at exposure sa positive patient. Pagkasubmit ng online form ay i-assess ito ng doktor at kung nakikita nilang kailangan matest, kinabukasan ay makatatanggap ng email, ng numero at schedule kung kailan pupunta. Pagdating sa site ay ipapakita lang ang in-email na numero para makumpirma ang schedule at bibigyan ng mask at alcohol. Pag-usad sa susunod na tent, lalapit ang health worker sa bintana para kuhanan ng sample o swab test. Nasa 10 to 15 minutes ang proseso. Inaasahang mas mapapabilis pa nito ang COVID-19 testing sa sinasagawa nilang systematic mass approach to responsible testing o SMART system framework. Sa 1 million na population ng Taguig, nakahanda silang mag-test ng 10 to 15,000. Walang bayad ang testing. Samantala, kanina Jess, in-inspeksyon ni Health Secretary Francisco Duque ang Lakeshore Hall sa Taguig na ginawang quarantine facility para sa mga suspects at probable cases o yung may mga sintomas at exposure sa COVID-19 positive patients. May 41 beds ang facility na kumpleto sa mga toiletries, towel, masks at alcohol. Meron ding wifi sa buong facility powered by Smart. Dito dadalhin ang suspect cases at may exposure sa COVID-19. Dito rin sila itetest at kung mag-positive ay ililipat sila sa facilities tulad ng PICC, World Trade Center at Ninoy Aquino Stadium. Kung lumalaman ang sintomas ay ililipat sa COVID referral hospitals tulad ng Lung Center of the Philippines, UPPGH at Jose Rodriguez Memorial Medical Center. Sinasanay na rin ng City Epidemiology and Disease Surveillance Unit ang mga health center para magsagawa ng sariling swabbing o testing.
Kaya ngayon ang ginagawa natin, window hours muna. Sa bawat health center, may 1-2 oras na isa-schedule. Wala pa tayo dun sa punto na kahit sino, kahit kailan, pwedeng pumasok para magpa-test. Pero sinisimulan na natin. Para pagdating sa loob ng 3 buwan, 4 na buwan, 5 buwan, sanay na yung mga health centers natin na mag-test.
Samantala, nakapag-umpisa na ring magbigay ng 8,000 na tulong pinansyal sa 5 barangay sa bisa ng Social Amelioration Program ang Taguig LGU. Sa 270,000 total families sa Taguig, 92,000 families at 10,000 4-piece beneficiaries ang mabibigyan. Just naglaan na rin ng additional 2.3 billion na supplemental budget ang Taguig LGU at 1 billion nga ay mapupunta doon sa medical expenses para sa testing at mga gastusin sa quarantine centers at yung another billion naman ay para doon sa mga hindi mabibigyan ng tulong pinansyal ng national government. So sinabi nga kanina ni Mayor Lino Cayetano na 4,000 pesos a month ibibigay yan sa mga tricycle drivers, mga taxi drivers, FX drivers at maging mga angkas drivers. Meron din na para sa mga PWDs, seniors at mga scholars ng Taguig. Jess?
Maraming salamat, Marian Enriquez. New COVID-19 cases in the Philippines fall today as well as deaths due to the coronavirus. As of 4 p.m. Wednesday, April 22, the single-day tally for new infections dropped to around 100. So far, some 6,700 persons in the Philippines have tested positive for SARS-CoV-2. It's the second consecutive day that the overnight death toll was less than 10. So far, more than 440 people have lost their lives to the coronavirus infection in the country. Almost 40 patients have recovered from the SARS-like disease in the past 24 hours. Right now, close to 700 patients have gotten better from COVID-19. But while DOH data show nationwide tally of single-day infection to be around 100 cases. Down south, we have Cebu City registering 139 new COVID cases today. Mayor Edgardo Labella says this was made possible by the LGU's mass testing all over the city. The Freeman further reported that 123 of those cases were recorded in Cebu City Jail. Based on a report by the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology in September, the prison is the most populated detention facility with more than 5,800 inmates. Manufacturers warn that even if fuel prices have plunged, it doesn't mean that they can also slash prices of the products they're rolling out. Shaila Francisco tells us why.
Elsa admits it's getting more difficult to maximize her budget with the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon extended for more than a month.
Maasa lang ako doon sa kapatid ko nagpapadala galing sa abroad. Nanay ko, yung matanda na. Tapos may apo pa ako na nakatira sa akin. Mahirap kasi nga wala naman kaming na budget.
With decreasing fuel prices, Laban Consumer says it's just fair for manufacturers to cut prices by at least 5%.
35% na ang ibinaba. Retail na ito, kumpara nung Enero. Statistics yan ng Department of Energy. Baka naman at this time, lalo na yung mga vulnerable sector, matikman naman nila kung paano maipapasa sa kanila itong benepisyo ng mababang presyo ng produkto petrolyo.
But some sectors disagree. The Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association, for one, says with supply chain disrupted, distribution costs are higher, not due to fuel prices, but because of scarce manpower. Production is also hampered by social distancing and lack of public transport for employees working in the plant. The group notes prices of goods may decrease under normal circumstances, but demand is now exceeding supply. Philippine Association of Meat Processors shares the same sentiments. PAMPI Vice President Jerome Ong explains, even if they want to reduce prices, they couldn't do so at this time. Fuel only accounts for a fraction of their costs, which is mainly affected by higher prices of raw materials and lower production capacity. But the group assured consumers that they will maintain prices of all canned goods with or without DTI price monitoring. Still, the government is reminding retailers and manufacturers that price freeze is in effect until May 15. Shaila Francisco, VR1 News.
The government has imposed a price freeze on basic goods as the country grapples with the COVID-19 crisis. But some fish retailers are defying that. At one stall in Makati, round scad or galunggong are being sold for 240 pesos a kilo, almost double the suggested retail price of 130 pesos a kilo. The vendor says she's paying more to transport her items now that she's using her own vehicle and she needs to hire a driver. She reasons out the kind of fish being sold for SRP are of low quality and will likely be ignored by consumers.
Ang puhunan namin is minsan 200, depende sa klase sa isda. Siguro may 140, pero iba na ang kalagayan sa isda, butas na andyan. Dito sa Makati kasi mamimili ang tao dito, gusto nila maganda sariwa.
The Fisheries Bureau explains we have sufficient stock. In fact, we have a daily surplus of around 200 metric tons of fish, especially that it's peak fishing season. The problem lies in getting these products from storage facilities to the market.
How that commodity will be able to reach yung destination niya na kailangan siya doon. And the movement of goods may have some effects on the price, but the other commodities.
San Miguel will be turning its Petron gas stations into outlets for farm products. SMC is talking with the Agriculture Department to host the government's Rolling Store program, where consumers can buy fruits and vegetables. Initially, the market on wheels will be making stops at the following Petron outlets: Philinvest, Dasmariñas Village along EDSA, and La Vista entrance along Katipunan. The conglomerate also teamed up with the DA to buy about 4 million kilos of surplus corn. This is enough to feed about 7 million broilers that will later on feed about 4 million families in a day. Residents of Agham Road in Quezon City say they haven't received enough assistance from the local government. As a result, they are forced to violate ECQ guidelines to beg for food and money. Los Baños has a story.
Kenneth Paulino and his neighbors along Agham Road, Quezon City have been knocking on car windows begging for money. They've been doing this for about a week now. Kenneth says this is the only way they know how to feed their families. He claims they haven't been getting enough support from the local government in the quarantine period.
Manghihina nga lang po kami dahil wala man maabot sa amin. Kasi masaya naman kami magnakaw, manghihina lang po kami. Mga parehas na nga po, kayo pagtingin pa sa amin, masama pa. Kaya ang ginagawa namin, manghihina lang kami sa mga tao.
Before the pandemic hit, Kenneth earned his living as a construction worker. But he lost his job as soon as construction works were called off. To top it all off, he also got sick. He says he's earning 200 to 400 pesos daily from begging. Sometimes, they receive food from random people. Today, garbage collectors gave him 1 kilo of rice and sardines. 17-year-old Renren Agapuro also took to the streets to beg for money.
Napakahirap po kasi wala po talagang nagbibigay sa amin. Kailangan pa pong pumila ng napakahaba. Tapos minsan, namimili pa po na nagbibigay. Yung sino pa makakadikit, yun lang nabibigyan talaga. Kung di namin gagawin to, hindi ka makakain ng maayos.
Renren said she knows that they're not allowed to go out, but she has to provide for her 1-year-old baby.
Mas naman kami, tas may alcohol kaming dala. Uli, nagtatakbuhan kami pag may pulis.
Barangay Bagong Pag-asa Chairman Rodolfo Palma denies that Agham residents have not received any assistance from the city. Palma added they were able to distribute 3 batches of rice and canned goods. But he admits they haven't handed out any financial assistance yet.
Ang problema ho sa kanila dyan, tataka nga kami Sabi nila, nagugutom sila pero may nagsasabong, may mga nagsusugan, may mga nagiinom, may nakakarpyo kami na mga pasaway. So, paano natin masasabi na sila nagugutom?
Palma appeals to Agham residents for understanding. He assures his constituents they have enough food packs for the community.
Halimbawa, tayo kumakain 3 beses ang araw, gawin natin 2 beses na lang. Hindi tayo mag-reduce pa tayo, si sexy tayo, di ba? Meron naman tayong inaalat bawat bahay-bahay, binibigyan natin
Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte reminds village officials to make sure that those who are begging on the streets should return home. According to Belmonte, the QCLGU has already released 3 waves of food packs for city residents, on top of food donations being distributed by barangay officials. She added, residents from vulnerable sectors like transportation or PWDs are entitled to financial assistance from the city. For News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
And that's the latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine in Luzon. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.